What up, though, y'all? This is Chris, broadcasting to you from the D. And I've kind of been sitting back a bit with the whole Texas flood. I haven't really spoke on it. I've paid attention to it. I see that the death total it's like over 120, and the amount of people that are still missing is over 170. So I've just kind of been, even though I haven't spoke on it, I've been keeping up with it. And this has really brought out some ugly in a few people. One in particular is this woman. She worked for a pediatrics company. Her name was Christine Probst, something of that nature. She had made some posts on social media because, of course, this is where a lot of people go to really show the ugly side of them. She went on what looked like it was Facebook, but it could have been Blue Sky. I don't know, similar color scheme. But she ended up getting 15 minutes of fame or infamy, either way you look at it, depending on you. She made some dig at MAGA, being this is what they voted for, about not voting for FEMA, basically hoping that everyone is safe except MAGA. And this was really a terrible thing to say, considering at the time the focus was on this camp of a bunch of children that had been hit, and many of them had passed away. So just a bit of a very disgusting and tone-deaf response to something like that. You know, they used to say if you didn't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. I think some people, they could benefit from remembering that. It's not like you're some social media influencer where you're getting paid for hot takes. You're someone that works for a pharmaceutical company, a pediatrics company. And that brings about some questions of ethics when you say things like that. So she's now been fired from Bluefish Pharmaceuticals because, like always, and I'm glad that this does happen, when someone that represents a company that's supposed to service everybody says really biased things, especially to do with politics, people reach out like, hey, you know, you got somebody working for you that feels this way about this group of people. I mean, is this representative of your company as a whole or what? If it is, let us know so we can all move accordingly. But if not, you may want to do something about this. As should not be a surprise to anybody, they let her go. And she's now walked back, or at least tried to. She's now tried to walk back the things that she said, the very disgusting things that she said, saying that when she made those comments, she did not know what the death total was. She made those comments before having the knowledge of that, what the death total was, as if that should somehow make the things that she said any better, any less disgusting. She also was like, she wasn't mad at any particular group or anything like that. It was at a system that failing, which is not really true, because you made it pretty clear in your post that conservatives, especially MAGA, you hoped everyone were safe but them, and that they got what they voted for. Here's one thing I can say about conservatives, and I am a black conservative. Really, I'm a black conservative, but I don't agree with everything that conservatives do. I don't think that any side of the aisle you may find yourself on that you should agree with everything that they do. I think you should be a thoughtful enough person to where something that they do might be something you just like, I don't really rock with that. I think if everything they pitch, you're just lockstep with, you're supporting it, you're doing a disservice to yourself. You're being a sheep. Because even people who you rock with in real life, even if it's your spouse, you don't agree with everything that they say. You may agree with most, but there's going to be something. So how can you agree with a political party that you have no personal ties to more than your own spouse. You get what I'm saying? So be more thoughtful than that. It's okay to disagree. But as I was saying before I went on that little bit of a tangent there, one thing I can say about conservatives that I usually don't see, now if you've seen something different, let me know. But I've never seen conservatives take a tragedy and use it to take digs at Democrats or liberals. I've seen, in the case of certain things happen, they like, well, you voted for this, but not something as bad as the flood, not something tragic. In the case of Gavin Newsom or whatever, certain things in California, things coming about, spending being done, inflation happening, and you being like, well, you voted for this. Okay, that's one thing. But you have to be human when it's about people dying, specifically children. I can honestly say I've never seen that come from conservatives going to liberals. If I'm wrong, you guys let me know. I'm open to being proven wrong. I've just never seen it myself. So about the whole ethics of this, when you have people like this working in the medical field, that's scary. When you have people that they have such animosity, such anger towards another human being just because they don't agree with the way that they voted, that's pretty scary, man. Because if I come in there for help, let's say I find myself in need. I'm in the hospital. I've got a 0% liberal t-shirt. I freaking love that t-shirt. I haven't worn it in a while. But let's say I find myself in a hospital and I'm wearing that. This person doesn't know me. They just know that I'm 0% liberal, all right? Obviously by the message on my shirt. Is this going to affect the quality of care that I'm going to get? Forget my insurance. Forget my insurance. I've got good insurance, but forget my insurance. Is them looking down at my shirt and seeing that it says 0% liberal on it going to affect the quality of care that I get? That's really scary. You can have all this rainbow stuff and talk about protect trans kids and all that stuff, and they're fine. You'll walk lockstep with them. But if my shirt says, Trump for president of Earth or something like that, you may let me flatline. These places, they got to be careful. They have to vet a lot more carefully when they're doing hiring. Look at these people's social media, because they're who they really are on social media. They can sit up there and interview great all they want to. They're who they really are on social media. And if you go on there and you see that they're expressing this type of anger, this type of resentment towards a certain group, you may want to decide not to bring them on board so that in the future you don't find yourself caught up in some PR online stuff because someone that you hired said something stupid during a time like this. I'm gonna leave it there though, you guys. Hit me with a like if you like what I do. Hit me with a sub if you like what I do. And hit me in them comments. I'm gonna holla at y'all. Peace.